Hey everyone, I wanted to go over the new and exciting news that we got for Monster Hunter Rise on the Nintendo Switch and just in about a week on PC via Steam as well. And that's the fact that the development team has gone ahead and provided us with a couple of more updates for their developer campaign. Remember that back in around August of 2021, they started this project where they're going to be showcasing images of places in Monster Hunter Rise that either the development team really enjoys. They wanted to share a little bit of detail as to how that area came about, a little bit of lore as for the world, maybe a little bit of information how like the development process eventually got that area to be presented in the way that it is, or anything along those lines. So far we've gotten information for the first two areas of the map. We're right now in the flooded forest, and I believe the last image that we're going to be going over today moves us over to the frozen isle. So they're finally moving into the third area of the game, and we're getting just a little bit of developer updates, just a little bit of information going forward as to each and every one of these areas. So first and foremost, with the brand new image that we see today, we're still in the flooded forest, and the commentary is as follows. This is the dense jungle and the night sky. You can see our wonderful starry night, full and invigorated of nature. The point is that the clear moon is clearly available to see, and that's the point that we wanted to focus on. So as you can see, of course, I believe in the flooded forest, when it turns to night, you don't necessarily see like a clouded sky or anything along those lines. It's always bright. It's always like the moon's very out there, obviously shining. So I do think it's interesting that they decided to go with that. Other maps have a little bit of a different sky situation going on, but I do believe in the flooded forest they specifically focused on just having a clear sky, because you do have the trees covering a lot of the area, so it's dark already as it is when it's night in the game, and I guess they just wanted to contrast it with having some sort of light source in the sky, providing you with some sort of brightness, I guess. In the next image, we're also in the flooded forest, and it actually reads, "A band of light shines down through the hole, showcasing the Tyndall phenomenon," which I'm actually going to go over in a little bit. It's also a place where the processing load was very heavy in the initial stages of development. It is a discerning place that somehow managed to be shaped by the efforts of the developer members. So I had to look up what the Tyndall phenomenon actually is, and it's simply when you see like God rays, I guess a lot of people call them that way in video games. You see rays shining through, and you see like dust particles move through the light. You see like a fog or smoke or whatever it might be, as like a very specific ray of light shines through a very like narrow hole in the roof or the sky, or like a broken window or something along those lines, and you get to see like the ray of light as it should be, but it's just in a very small area, and you get to see like particle effects going on about. They very specifically mentioned that the processing load was heavy, and the development team pretty much had to get that working properly. So presumably, of course, with the limitations of the Nintendo Switch, this is something that they're referring to. I would definitely love to see this area specifically on the PC version, just to see how they were able to fully utilize it and get it working as it's supposed to naturally look like. Now, the last image that we have here for today is actually the first image that we see of the Frozen Isles, and it actually reads, "Is that a monolith? ? The creators made it very cool. At the initial stages of the project, it was originally said to be twin islands, a younger brother and an older brother, but there's no signs of that anymore. It was blown away by the artist's true power." So they're showcasing this specific area in the Frozen Isles, where I'm not necessarily sure where that is. I would have to go look into it. I guess it's around the starting area from the opposite side from where you actually see it. And it is just interesting that, again, just the development cycle changes things in a way that they're saying it was supposed to be two separate islands, but then it's just kind of one cohesive, entirely connected area. So I always find that fascinating, where like the developers have one idea originally, perhaps due to limitations of the system, they go ahead and change it, or again, it's just a design choice and they just decide to just go with a different take. But that's about everything that I wanted to go over for this specific developer campaign video. I always love to go over ideas that developers have, because I just find it fascinating how projects come about, and it's always good to know the little bit of details that the developers ultimately have in their own product. If you're brand new to my channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Hit the bell to receive notifications when the videos go up, and as always, thank you so much for watching. See ya.